Hi, I'm Bootman. I'm product manager at Opico for the Heaver range of products from Denmark. We distribute the Heaver range throughout the dealer network throughout the UK. And today we're just going to be looking at the Heaver King rolls. The King rolls are available from 12.3 to 20.3 with a variety of rings. So we'll now go and look at the individual elements of the rolls. So we're going to start at the front of the machine and work our way to the back and talk about the different elements as we go. So here we see the front of the drawbar with what we call the pivoting eye. So that is a pivoting eye that rotates. So that is standard on a UK spec machine. And the reason for it pivoting is it takes the wear out of the drawbar on the tractor, whether it's on the drawbar pin or on a pickup hitch. There are different options on here, pivoting balls, larger pin sizes, so at the time of speccing your rolls, have a look at that and decide which best suits your tractor and your needs. Moving back on the drawbar, we see a hydraulic jack, also standard. That allows us to obviously raise and lower the front of the rolls when we're hitching and unhitching the rolls to the tractor. Some of the larger tractors possibly don't have a pickup hitch, so it makes it a lot easier to attach them to your tractor just by simply activating that from the spool valves in your tractor cab. Also, we see nice robust wide drawbar, a lot of strength in this drawbar. It's a double overlap frame here, so this piece overlaps the one underneath, so along the side here going from the front to the back is double thickness, so completely overlap to add that added strength from the front to the bolted section at the back of the drawbar that we see there. So moving further back in the rolls, moving up the drawbar, we have the pipe holder, adjustable in height here, so it keeps your pipes away from the linkage of your tractor to prevent damage to the pipes and the cables when you're turning on the headlands, and the storage facility that we see here when the rolls aren't in use. We also see there's a gauge mounted at the top of the drawbar here. This is for the weight transfer, the SAT system that is designed by Heaver to transfer the weight evenly across the rolls. We'll look at that a little bit later after we've moved further back through the rolls. So again, moving back along the chassis of the rolls, we've got a ladder frame centre section, very robust, bracing support all in the right place to take that support from these ever wider, heavier sets of Cambridge rolls, say from 12 metres up to 20 metres, the same style of frame, a little bit extra strength in the wider ones, but for all intents and purposes the same configuration. We also see here is some hooks. Now these are the transport locks. When the wings come around alongside the central chassis, these automatically come into operation, and then when you unfold them they automatically unlock as well when you go to unfold the rolls. So again, no need to step out of the tractor cab, all done from the comfort of the tractor cab. So we'll now look at the rings, the part of the Cambridge roll that's actually doing the work. So what we see here is a 24-inch diameter Cambridge with breaker ring. These are available in 3 different sizes, 20, 22 and 24. Available as Cambridge breaker, as I said, that we see here, or as what we would call the plain Cambridge, so just with this type of ring here without this secondary ring here. The breaker ring is there, it's free to move on a central hub next to the main ring, and that has a couple of benefits. One is it helps to keep clean the main ring, because it moves up and down as it rotates along the ground as well, so potentially knocking any soil off that builds up on these other rings. The carcellations have got added point pressure, so for a clod breaking point of view, that point pressure is a big help when you're trying to break them clods and break that soil down. What we see here is the NG ring that we call it, so the multi-spoked ring. A single spoke going from the centre hub to the outside for added strength. Multi-spoked, one single spoke. So it's not split, it's not divided, it's one single spoke, same diameter from the centre to the outside. It's got a centre spider here, so these aren't just joining to the central hub. There is an additional diameter around there that these link into for that extra strength there. Extra cast gusseting as they join the outer ring, so it's not just the spoke, same diameter touching the outer ring. There is a gusseting round there to spread that weight, spread that extra strength into the outside ring. All the rings run on a 60mm diameter shaft, so very robust. There is flex within that shaft, it's designed to be in that shaft. But what we do see on the wider sections, we do see a centre support here, so a spring support in the middle still allows the gang to flex in the centre, but holds it a lot firmer, and is also a benefit for road transport as well. It's supporting that ring in road transport and within the field. Bearings on the shafts, say run a 60mm diameter shaft. These bearings are a sealed bearing, and if you look closely you will see a grease nipple on there, and that grease nipple just greases between the outer race of the bearing and the cast housing that it sits in. So greasing intervals are there depending on your work rate or work time. Is a couple of times a year, because it doesn't actually grease the bearings. That's a sealed for life bearing, triple sealed bearing, whether it's on the outside of the gangs or in the centre mount. They are sealed for life bearings. Right, we're now going to talk about one of the most important features of the Heaver designed king roller, and that is the SAT system, the weight transfer system that has even consolidation from one end of the Cambridge rolls right through all the gangs to the other end of the Cambridge rolls. So total even pressure from one end to the other and to the individual gangs. With a traditional set of rolls, the centre section is always the heaviest because it's generally carrying the weight of the drawbar and the rolls, and then the weight of the rolls gradually gets less as you go to the outside. That isn't the case with a set of Heaver rolls. With the hydraulic controlled SAT system, there is even pressure on all 5 gangs, and that is done by pressurising the folding and unfolding system. So we saw earlier the pressure gauge on top of the drawbar. When we pull into the field, we unfold the rolls, we put them on the ground, and on the same spool valve we raise the pressure on that gauge to about 80 bar for a starter. So that will give reasonably even pressure across the full width of the rolls via a hydraulic cylinder that pressurizes down on the center, and these hydraulic cylinders we see here pulling down around this spoke, pushing down on this gang here. So we've got the hydraulic system transferring the weight, but also part of that very important design is the central pivot. So we have one there on the outer gang, one on the intermediate gang, and also the centre section as well is centre pivoting. Why is that important? Because we want to push down in the centre with the weight, not down from one end. So that's even pressure and even ground contour following. So whatever the ground contours are doing, they follow that ground perfectly. We're not getting this gang here influencing what this gang's doing, which can happen if the pivot here is taken off the end of this gang. And with a weight transfer system that works like that, it's all we're doing is pushing down at the end because it's pivoted here, it's fixed here. On a heaver set of rolls, they are pivoted totally in the centre with the weight going down into the centre to create that totally even consolidation across the full working width of the rolls. So we've got to the rear of the rolls, so just mention a few last things. LED lights as standard to comply with road transport regulations. The rolls when folded fit into 3 metres, so no wider than 3 metres. We can also have a cedar mounted on the rear here, only on the 12.3 metres, and that can be for Avadex, slug pellets, grass seeds, cover crop mixes, whatever takes your fancy. But that mounts on the back here with steps and a platform for easy, safe access. Wheels and tyres with brakes as standard in the UK. They are with hydraulic brakes. There is an additional option, if you so wish, of having pneumatic air brakes as well. So just a quick conclusion of our look at the Heaver King rolls, available from 12.3 up to 20.3, available with different ring options, Cambridge breaker or plain Cambridge, with 20, 22 or 24 inch diameter. So as we can see, the Heaver King rolls, king of the field. For any more information, please feel free to look at the Heaver website or follow us on Facebook or Twitter. Thanks for watching.